Hi everyone, welcome back to Learn With Me. I'm Deborah Hanson. Today we're going to be looking at AP Psychology 5.4, Selection of Categories of Psychological Disorders. So there are 10 CED questions for this section of Unit 5, and this is part 4, so the fourth CED question. If you want to see the other CED questions, you're going to have to go to different videos because I try to break them all up so it's a bit easier for you guys to follow. So if you haven't subscribed already to the channel, please do so. I really appreciate it. And if you have, thank you so much. Now let's get started on 5.4. CED question number 4. On these slides, you're going to see the key terms for all of section 5.4. So not just specific to the CED question, to all of them. There's a separate video where you can learn the definitions and sort of real life examples that go with each of the terms. I always say the key to the 5 are the key terms. You've got to know your key terms. You've got to be able to apply them on test day in FRQs. You've got to be able to use them in MCQs. It is super important to know your key terms. CED question number 4 for this section is describe the symptoms and possible causes of selected bipolar disorders. So today we're going to go through, yes, there's a cat. Cats are very good for your mental health, by the way. So we're going to look at all the information that you need to know about bipolar disorders. I always like to start with a little overview before we start getting into this sort of essential knowledge that we need to know about whatever disorder we're talking about. So we're going to start with the definition of bipolar disorders. So the definition is bipolar disorders are characterized by alternating periods of mania, extreme energy and mood elevation, and depression, sadness, and low energy. The key features are bipolar cycling, where individuals experience episodes of depression and mania in varying durations. So we're going to look at two particular bipolar disorders in AP Psychology. First, bipolar 1 disorder and bipolar 2 disorder. Now I'm going to go into all the details that you need to know for each of those two. So we're going to start off by talking about bipolar 1 disorder. It's a mental health condition characterized by extreme mood swings. The key features of this disorder is the presence of at least one manic episode, often followed by one of depression. So let's look at the symptoms of bipolar 1 disorder. Bipolar 1 involves two major mood states, mania and depression. Let's break those down. Let's start with manic episodes. During a manic episode, a person may experience extreme elevated mood. They may feel euphoric, overly happy, or highly irritable. Or they could have increased energy levels. They may feel like they don't need any sleep or they may stay awake for days. And the next one is impulsive or risky behavior. This could include excessive spending or reckless driving or engaging in dangerous activities. And lastly, racing thoughts and pressured speech. They may talk rapidly and jump from one idea to the next. So that would be a manic episode. Now let's look at the depressive episode. After mania, a person often experiences a depressive episode, which can include persistent sadness and fatigue. They may just feel exhausted, uninterested in any daily activities, or they may have feelings of worthlessness or guilt. They may struggle with self-doubt and hopelessness. So here's an example. Imagine someone staying awake for days, planning elaborate business ventures during a manic episode, full of confidence and energy, but then soon after they experience weeks of extreme sadness and lethargy, unable to follow through any of their plans. So bipolar 1 disorder is a serious condition that requires medical attention and treatment. By recognizing these symptoms, individuals can seek proper diagnosis, support management, and manage their mental health effectively. So the key takeaway here is if left untreated, bipolar 1 can disrupt daily life. With the right treatment, including therapy and medication, individuals can manage their symptoms and lead very fulfilling lives. So now we're going to talk about bipolar 2 disorder. This is a mental health condition that involves episodes of both hypomania and major depression. So unlike bipolar 1 disorder, bipolar 2 does not include full manic episodes. Individuals instead experience hypomania, which is a milder form of mania that is less disruptive but still noticeable. So let's go through the symptoms of bipolar 2 disorder. This disorder is defined by two key mood states, hypomania and depression. We're going to start with hypomanic episodes. This is increased energy and productivity. People may feel more active, efficient, motivated, enhanced creativity and optimism. They may generate new ideas, take on projects, or just feel more sociable. And last, there's no severe impairments. Unlike full mania, hypomania doesn't typically lead to dangerous behavior or hospitalization. So the key difference between bipolar 1 is that while mania in bipolar 1 can cause severe disruptions and risky behavior, hypomania in bipolar 2 is definitely more controlled and doesn't cause major life disturbances. So now let's talk about the depressive episodes. So these are the same as bipolar 1 disorder. Individuals experience deep sadness, fatigue, loss of interest in activities, and feelings of worthlessness. They are definitely more frequent than hypomania. So many people with bipolar 2 spend more time in depressive states than in hypomanic states. So let's do an example. Imagine someone who experiences bursts of energy and enthusiasm during hypomanic episodes. They feel more creative, they're starting new projects, they're really highly productive. But however, after this phase, they struggle with this extended period of sadness and low motivation and fatigue during these major depressive episodes. So why does it matter? Bipolar 2 disorder is often misdiagnosed as depression because hypomania can go unnoticed, or it's just said like that's simply said like they're feeling good. However, recognizing both hypomanic and depressive episodes is really crucial in proper diagnosis and treatment. So with therapy, medicine, and lifestyle management, individuals with bipolar 2 can find stability and support in their daily lives. So here's a little comparison chart just to help you understand the difference between bipolar 1 disorder and bipolar 2 disorder. The manic episodes in bipolar 1, full manic episodes in bipolar 2, hypomanic episodes, so they're milder. Depressive episodes may occur but are not required in bipolar 1, but in bipolar 2, at least one major depressive episode. And then the severity of the mania in bipolar 1, severe, which may actually lead to hospitalization, and in bipolar 2, less severe, no hospitalization needed. So now let's talk about the possible causes of bipolar disorder. We're going to start with biological causes. Research shows that chemical imbalances in the brain play a major role in bipolar disorders. For example, neurotransmitter imbalances, levels of serotonin, norepinephrine, and dopamine can impact mood regulation. The brain structure differences. Studies suggest that abnormalities in the brain regions responsible for emotion regulation and impulse control can contribute to this disorder. Then we have genetic causes. Genetics also play a role in bipolar disorder. Family history increases the risk. If a close relative, such as a parent or sibling, has bipolar disorder, the likelihood of developing it is higher. Specific genetic markers. Scientists have identified genetic variations linked to mood disorders though no single bipolar gene has been found. The next one, social and cultural causes. Social and environmental factors can trigger or worsen symptoms of bipolar disorder. Stressful life events like trauma or major life transitions or prolonged stress can trigger mood episodes. Cultural attitudes. In some cultures, mood swings may be more normalized or misunderstood, leading to undiagnosis or delayed treatment. Next, we talk about behavioral and cognitive causes. Certain personality traits and thought patterns can contribute to bipolar disorder. Impulsivity and poor emotion regulation. Difficulty managing emotions can lead to manic behaviors and depressive withdrawal. Negative thought patterns. During depressive episodes, individuals can engage in self-critical thinking, hopelessness, or pessimism, which reinforces these mood swings. Here's our key takeaway. Bipolar disorder arises from a combination of biological, genetic, social, and behavioral factors, and understanding these influences helps psychologists develop more effective treatment approaches, including medication, therapy, and lifestyle management. So just before we end, let's look at some key takeaways and things we need to know for the AP exam. You need to know the difference between bipolar 1 and bipolar 2 disorders, the severity of the mania and the depressive episodes. You need to be able to link symptoms to biological, genetic, social, and cognitive causes. And you need to understand the concept of bipolar cycling. So that was the breakdown of all the essential knowledge you need to know to answer CED question number 4 for 5.4. And the question was, describe the symptoms and possible causes of selected bipolar disorders. So hopefully you found that helpful. If you did, please hit that like and subscribe button for me. Leave me a comment if you have any questions or if just any suggestions for future videos. I'm always happy to hear what you have to say. Thank you so much for listening. I'll see you next time.